10 seconds.
Hey guys, thanks for coming back for part two. We decided to split the first episode into two parts just to kind of give a few more episodes. So we hope you enjoy.
Thanks. See you guys.
You answered one of my questions I had about the blind layouts. So overall, you think that'd be a better thing for paintball if you went to a blind layout?
You know,
Do you think better for paintball or better for like the actual tournament scene, or is that the same thing? You know what I mean? Does the
All right,
tournament
so-
scene need to get bigger for paintball to get better, or do we?
I'll speak at it in a two different way
Okay.
answer. Better for paintball as a whole, maybe.
Okay.
Because I think some of these fields thrive on these feeder teams coming out and shooting a pallet of paint per weekend on these fields. Not that they're making $1 million off of it, but if this field can bring in 40 of its players and they're shooting a pallet of paint on the field, that's just business.
Yeah.
You know, that's just revenue coming in. Is it better for the players and the sport? I think it is. I think it is for the player to show up and he can feel that he is not he's not at a disadvantage. He's showing up the field. He doesn't have to know, like, oh, dude, I didn't study this layout. I don't know where these lanes are. Nobody does, dude. You're the same way everybody is. You're going to find out real quick these first 2 points where you're supposed to be at. So when you get there, it's like, okay, let's go walk the field together and actually walk all the bunkers together, and you actually get like team camaraderie and you get the feel from every single person. Like, well, what'd you see at that 100? And he says, oh, dude, they have a really nice shot shooting back over here, shooting back into this corner, and you go, oh shit, you do.
Yep.
But on the other field that came out 3 weeks ago, somebody already shot it. You got shot. You're like, what the fuck was that at? Oh, okay. Yeah. And you mark it in your head. You're like, there's a ghost shot from the 100 into the back corner. You know, on the tournament field, if you got there and it was some wild shit laid out everywhere, you're like, all right, well, let's go find out where this is. And you get 5-0'd. Like, well, I guess that didn't work out for us. Like, we need to figure out something on this field quick.
Yeah.
I think it's the best for the player.
Overall, I do think I agree with you. Like, I mean, I'm selfish in a way where because now I have the opportunity to have that golden goose in my hand, I want it. I want all the layouts beforehand. But yeah, probably overall, it probably would be a better thing to just blind layout a couple days before. And if, like you said, if you have a field that can set up in the middle of the week, that's just hats off to you. So
I'm still fine with the layout dropping. But let's do it. You say a couple days before. Let's do it 1 week. Let's give
1
them
week? That's
1 week of practice, right?
Yeah.
So let's drop the layout Saturday morning before the event, like the
full week before. Yep.
Not Thursday, not Friday. Let's set it up, or let's set it up Friday. Let's drop it Friday. So there's some fields like Paintball Fit. Those guys set the field up like instantly. It drops. They're working there because it's an open, legit business. They set the field up like instantly. But if you could set it up to just 1 week, that'd be great. But these fields, it gives the smaller teams and regular players a heads up shot.
Yeah,
you know, I play with a lot of the veteran militia guys, and they have squads from like beginner D6 all the way up to D2 X ball, and I played on most all the lines, and knowing the guys all the way up on from top to bottom, everybody's the same way. Like, they'll tell you they feel when you get up in the D2, D3 range, when you're playing with these guys, that when they get out there, they already feel at a disadvantage. And we see it on the D3, D4 level. We play all the time. When these guys we're playing the D2 X ball, these guys are having issues is because they're playing teams like Struggle. They're playing teams like Grit. Those big organizations that have 10 teams that have shot this lane going to the 200 in between two pins, nailing down behind the home, cross shot body, And I'm never looking for that shot, but these
Nope.
dudes know. Like I can shoot right here, or they'll go out there and shoot a whole case just working bounce shots. I'm like, in my head, I barely ever shoot bounce shots. I'm looking to get in the guy's face and challenge him and get him out of the bunker. You know what I mean? But these dudes know every lane, every hole, every gap. And in defense of the VM guys, most of these dudes are separated. So they're only getting typically 1 week or 1 day of practice together before the event even happens. Now they're playing that layout separately, but not as a team. Most of those guys that play together don't play on the same line together. They're just playing with their buddies. Or like when I play with any of the lines that I get asked to play with or go play with, I'm playing with us. And then I go this, I'm playing with 4 of the dudes I've never really seen before, or I know, but we've never played this field, you know? If it was a blind layout, it'd be like, all right, well, I got 5 dudes that I can trust. You got 5 dudes you can trust. Let's get with it.
So do you think that's what that is? Do you think doing the layout would be like more beneficial, or is it more of a camaraderie thing? Do you think it's because you don't get to play with those specific players as much, or is it the layout? What do you think is going to affect you more, I guess is what I'm saying? The layout portion or the
layout, I think. Not having 100+ points on the layout is way worse. I mean, you see it at our local field, right? Yeah. Like good players who took like a few weeks off will come out, but we've already played this layout 3 weeks, or it's the MVPS layout and we just haven't adjusted it yet. So we got a week or 2 on it, plus the MVPS, plus a week after it. And these guys who skipped the event only played like 1 weekend on it. They come out, 5 weeks later, where we still haven't changed the layout because we're waiting for the new layout to drop. And these are decent players, and we just run them off the field. Yep. I'm shooting them like going into the 200, running, gunning, and they're not even looking at it. And they don't know where the gaps are. But I've already played this field 6 weeks. I know as soon as I go to the 200, I'm shooting inside of the snake. I'm turning, I'm shooting the corner. I'm going to wrap. I'm going to shoot the home. Then I'm going to go. Yep. And all 3 of those shots are wide open every single time. They don't know that. They're getting to the snake. They're crawling to the 1. They're going to the 2. And they're coming up, shooting down the wire. And I'm next to them because they don't know the 200 has a wrap shot shooting right back into it wide open. So I think it's way better for the player. The teams, I think if you did a blind layout, the better team would win in the ends.
I agree. I think that's 100% right. I mean, I think we would have saw that years ago with us playing in GFOAs if we would have had blind layouts.
The same people, yeah.
We're showing up to these tournaments out of 12 to 15 teams, taking top 4, but we're losing to teams that have practiced on the layout for 3-4 weeks. So it's like, who's your better gun? You know what I mean? You're the better gunfighter now because you know where the shot is, but I've beat every other team here, except for the same 3 teams I never beat because there's the same 3 teams that are playing on the layout for the same 3 weeks altogether. So, I mean, I can only do so much.
Well, you got to look at the GFOA and the ACTS at the time back then. I played open division in both, which is it ranked me as D2, but we played in both series and we won the championship in both series, not even struggling. I think the GFOA, when it first was like running before it died and came back, we lost 1 event ever. Like we played an entire event, like entire series, and dropped like 1 event. And we were playing against good teams back then. And we won almost every single event. But it was a blind layout. You just showed up the morning of, the layout was there, and you're like, okay. But guess what? I played with my same guys for 4 years. So I know Powell's going to shoot this lane. I know Graydon's going to crawl up. He's going to shoot this lane. And I can count on those dudes doing their job.
Yep.
So I know if it gets into a sticky situation, I'm going to count on all my dudes doing their job and doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I know, we're probably going to stand a good chance as winning this event. I mean, I think one of the first times you traveled to an event was actually you ran into us at an event.
Me and my dad and Jamie, we decided it was they won in Athens. It was at there's that big house, and you went down the dude's drive. It was right by the house, like the field and the house was right there. We drove down because we knew the tournament was happening, but hadn't played any tournaments myself yet, and we drove on up to Athens and watched y'all play. And there's actually a video on YouTube of one of the they were the first team to beat y'all.
Yeah.
They put that video is somewhere on YouTube, and they were like going, oh shit, we're the first team that took a point from these guys. That I'm thinking, oh shit. I was like, I've been here, I've been showing up to the field once a month know they're playing these tournaments and hearing how well they're doing. I was like, and I show up and they get
we lose,
match.
and we get stomped. Yeah.
But now at the time in GFOA, was there ever sideline coaching in GFOA?
No,
okay,
nope.
I was always curious about that.
Axe did sideline coaching only in the finals.
Okay,
and this is way before Expo was around. And we were actually playing against Manus Factory, which was a pro team then.
Yep.
And it was open division.
The green ant thing, right?
Yes.
Well, I guess the praying mantis.
Praying mantis. It would be Manus Pro Factory, and the other team was the Bad News Bears. I think it was not Bad Boys Toys. It was Bad News Bears. Bad News. Okay. And they were in all kinds of magazines, and this was a big deal to us back then.
Or was it Bad Company? Because that was the Spider one had Bad Company.
It wasn't Bad Company. They were a pro team at the time as well. But it was Bad News and Manus Pro Factory, and we're running these teams in the dirt. And the best thing about it was they played against each other all the time. Say they knew how everybody played. We were traveling 4 to 8 hours to go play these events.
That's a ride.
They don't know who we are. They have no clue who we are. So we show up at the event. They don't know how we play. You know, we beat them, and this is all points related. So it's like 5 points for every, or 10 points for every kill you got, 25 for the flying, 25 for the hang. I think that's what it was. I think it's 5 points for every kill you have, 5 points for every body you have left, 25 for the point for the flag, and 25 for the hang.
Yeah, that's 100 points. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's ultimately what it ended up being back then in the 5-man days. But there's only coaching in the finals.
Interesting. Okay.
And we quickly stopped that really fast. Dad kind of made this whole like genius plan. We were playing against these teams who didn't know us, and they were at the time we were playing against Manus Factory, who had like a following of 15, 20 people. So we get to the finals. We only have our 6 dudes, Dad, and like maybe my mother or something like that. We have like 7 people total, and we're getting out coached because 15 people are yelling over our 2 people coaching. So Dad started counter coaching, which back then was not a thing.
No.
And we actually won that event from him counter coaching, and it almost started a fight. I think I go into the snake 1, and it's a zipper snake, so it's super long, has all the wings on the outside. I go straight into the snake 1. I think I shoot out somebody across field, and I go into the snake 2, and the guy fills the snake 2, and I could hear his coach kind of talking to him a little bit. And the guys, every time I look to the left, he tells him, snakes in the inside. And then I look on the wire, he's like, snakes in that wire. Look back inside, snakes on the inside. So he's like telling his guy. So then we end up losing, and it's best 2 out of 3. We lost the first point, but the whole crowd is like just losing their mind. And I'm like, damn, dude, you know, I'm only like 16 at the time, 15. And I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, we're at such a disadvantage. This is just not fair at the time. And so Dad starts going to their players when they're playing, and he's like, Dorito! He's like screaming, and these dudes are just fucking freaking out, and they're like shooting cross field. Like, he's like, say 3! And the guy, he's like, he's coming for you. The guy jumps out, and like, I'm in the snake 1. I didn't leave. I'm like down the wire. And the guy's like, he's coming for you. The dude jumps out of his bunker. I get like free kill. Bah! I'm like, oh my God. I go into the snake. The dude gets into the snake. And we're both in like snake 1, and I'm like posted up waiting for this dude, assuming he's gonna come get me. I'm waiting, and the Dad goes to him, and Dad's like, they're trying to coach him, and Dad's just yelling the whole time, just screaming to like mess this kid up. And the problem is that these dudes are like so monkey with a gun that they're not playing the game. They're like staring at the coach, waiting for the signal. Like, where's he at? Is he in the snake 1? Is he in the inside or the outside? Like, I don't want to make a move. Instead of just playing the game and using the coaching as an advantage, they're not playing and only relying on the coach to go, all right, crawl the snake 2. All right, shoot 3 to 1. All right, he's gone. All right, goes to back right. All right, he's gone. He's just a player in a bunker now with no gun because he's not shooting. So we ended up winning the tournament just by them counter coaching. And the next tournament, there was almost with that event at the end. We almost had a fight because there was no counter coaching. They made a rule, and we're like, "What do you mean there's no counter coaching? Like, that's my way of coaching. Like, you want to coach your players? We'll just counter coach the other guys." And that was a thing in the PSP at the time. Yeah. And then they outlawed it real quick because it got really bad.
People probably got good at it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So that was when they used to have the boards, and the girls on the sidelines, they get the snake 1 and they'd hold up a sign S1, and they would follow the guy. They would walk with him in the snake. He would crawl to snake 3. She'd hold up S3 and walk with him and stand over his head in the snake S3, so you know exactly where he is, what the bunker call was.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and
the only experience I had with the coaching was the one we played in Cup. And it was just your dad coached for us, and one of the KMA guys we met there, they coached for us and stuff like that. So I didn't really have – all the paintball I played was no coaching.
As much as I like the crowd participation, I didn't like it. Yeah. I relied my whole life playing was pure skill and like – being able to see the field and be a steps ahead of everybody else. Like, I know I'm going to shoot this dude, shoot at him, make him do this, and I'm going to advance or move or come here, and I'm going to be waiting for him on this wire or this side or however it may be. You don't have to do that. You can just go to your bunker and just shoot your one guy, and then when your coach says, he's coming for you, just lean outside, go, all right, he's dead. Yeah. He waits, you're in the snake corner, you're just shooting on the wire, and the guy's like, okay, listen, when I say X left side, the X is hanging out on the left side, wrap and shoot him. So you're just down the wire. He's like, now! And you turn inside. Blah, free kill. It's like, because how many times have you sat on the sideline and go, man, if this dude would wrap right now, he'd shoot 3 of these dudes. So I'm like, you see that happening. I'm like, oh, God, that's not skill. He's telling him where to shoot. He's like he's playing chess with people in the field. I'm like, God, it makes me so mad. And everybody's like, dude, you should bring back crowd participation. Nah, let them play. Let the teams play. Like,
now, if you had to choose one, like if it was coaching, but you didn't get a blind layout, or vice versa, you know what I mean? Like if it was you had coaching, but you had blind layouts, or you get the layout but no coaching, how it currently is. Like hypothetically, if that was the thing, would you take the coaching but the blind layout, or you just So you would rather have coaching and still get a blind layout?
Yep. Because I feel that. And let's narrow this down. I'd like coaching if it was just one coach. Okay. Nobody else. Just one coach coaches. Nobody else yells. Your coach versus their coach. That's it. There's not like people screaming, and because you got to the point where
you watch pro matches right there.
And half of the guys are counter coaching too.
Yeah.
The crowd's all yelling random shit on the field. Like, it's like you don't know who to believe, and then you're like, you just mirror it all out. You're like, oh my God, I just need to.
I'm just gonna play.
I'm just gonna play my own game. I don't know what's going on, But if you could do your coach versus their coach, nobody else, I'd be fine with that because typically they're gonna coach the snake guy anyways.
Yeah, I mean, at least whatever's on that side of the field.
Yeah.
So that was something a few times we went and practiced against Tierney in Sebastian's field down there at Extreme in Jacksonville.
Yep.
He would coach, but one game they would coach, one game they wouldn't coach to like kind of keep it even because we're practicing not coaching. They need coaches. But Jamie, as good as a paintball player as he is, as soon as your dad would try to coach him, that he would lock up and be like trying to listen to your dad and listen to everybody talking. He'd be like, I don't know where to shoot now. We're like, okay, your dad was like, I'm not coaching. Just y'all can coach when y'all coach. We won't have a coach. And it's like, wow, oh my God, Jamie actually can run down and shoot people again.
Some players can't do it. Yep. Some players have to be able to play their own game, and Jamie's always been one. They just let him figure it out. Just let him do his own thing, and he'll come around to it. Yeah. Just let him do his own thing, and then some players, you're like, dude, this dude is dog shit. Like he needs somebody standing on his shoulder, going, shoot here, shoot here, shoot here, shoot here. All right, you win.
Well, that's something. I think everyone can learn to shoot straight. You know what I mean? But it's learning when you need to shoot here and when you need to shoot there, and when you need to tell your teammate, hey, I'm giving up this lane. So they're either going to run through it or you got to pick it up because I have to help this guy. If we don't help this guy, we're going to get blown apart here.
Oh, yeah.
That's the hardest thing for people to learn.
And, oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, this layout we just played at the Expo event last weekend, there was a couple times that I baited people in for Jamie to get the kill. Like I was shooting the 100 from the alpha, and then I'm like Jamie, I'm gonna drop this lane. Like you're gonna pick it up. He's gonna feel safe. He's going from the alpha to the 100. Just get ready for it. And it's like cat and mouse. You just leave it to go. He picks it up. Bop, free kill. And again, that's just like communication back and forth.
Playing with your teammate, communication, and just experience. I mean, 20 years of paintball experience. you know when to bait someone or not. So
yeah. I mean, I haven't played with Shane too much, but we practiced probably about a couple of months ago. Me and him were playing on the same side of the field, and there was a dude in maybe the 200, and I was in the Alpha or the 200 as well, something like that. And I came out seeing him, and Shane would be in what would technically be the Bravo or the Denver, one of those two style bunkers.
yeah.
And I came out seeing the guy, and he was on me, and I'm like, Shane, top left side 200. Shoot it. And he came out. The dude was like wide open, like ghost the shot, shot in 200. Dude's gone.
Well, that goes back to what we were saying earlier, just having trust in your teammates. He
Yes.
trusts you to say, hey, just shoot here. Don't think about it. Just do it. And then I'm calling on someone who he's got an 80% chance of getting this kill. And if he doesn't kill him, it's going to put the guy in and give me the opportunity.
I could pick it back
Either
up.
way, it gives me the opportunity to make a play. So
I feel that that's almost a lost thing now. Like nobody plays that.
Yeah.
I feel that a lot of teams play 5 one-on-ones in a game.
Yes.
And they want to beat their guy, which some fields you have to do that, and I understand.
Yep.
You have to play heads up, 5-man, one-on-one all across the field, and you play until you get your guy. Then you can counter and play a 2-on-1, then a 3-on-1, and then so on and so forth, which is fine. But a lot of times, if you can use your team to your advantage and use them, and I try to use my guys when I'm playing with them, I try to use them as like chess. Like, who can shoot this guy? Like, oh, you can shoot the 100. Listen, let's let this guy go into the 100. Just go ahead and shoot for the bottom left-hand side of it. I'm going to drop it. It's going to be all your kill. He's battling me. I'm going to give up my shot so he can think he's safe and go right into it.
Yep.
And he's looking for my lane. My lane's not there anymore. And he goes right through it. Boom. I don't care. Hell, that first point we won last weekend, I shot maybe 30 shots the whole time.
Yep.
I just got in the bunker, was laying up in that bitch, and they had like 3 guys on me the whole time. I would head check. Hey, Jamie, this guy's on me. Shoot him. All right, cool. Hey, Jamie, the Denver's on me outside left. Shot him. Sweet. Just shoot all of them. I don't care. I'll just sit in here with my gun in the bunker. If they're all going to shoot me, I'm perfectly fine. If I can stay alive and just call out all the shots.
A win's a win, dog.
Yeah, it's all the same to me. You know? God.
But, yeah, I mean, so what do you think about paintball currently? Like, with all this – it's a bad time.
Sucks.
It does suck because, I mean, I haven't played –
It's on the up.
It was on the up. Yes, it was 100%. If you had asked me a year ago, paintball was steadily climbing. Beginning of this year, climbing, and then as soon as everything happened, it went. But everything kind of went that way. I'm curious how the rebound of this will be. Like, are we going to get a World Cup this year? Or is it going to be the same type of World Cup we're used to? I mean, I've been to World Cup every year since 2008 or 9. I haven't missed one. So am I going to get the same experience, even though I haven't played every single one of those years? Am I going to see all my vendors, see all my other friends that I know?
I feel that if we do get a cup, it will be big, maybe bigger than ever, to be honest.
Okay.
Because a lot of guys could have saved up money throughout the whole season without traveling to all these events.
Okay.
And they're wanting to play. These guys are wanting to play. Like, I feel that maybe if this MVPS gets pushed out, the next time the MVPS has an event, it's going to be flooded. It's going to be like 100+ teams again, easily, because people are wanting to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and the workforce, you know, some people have got kicked back or the work has been slowed down, but they're also not playing paintball, which burns up a lot of money. Because a lot of fields are closed down. You know, I have guys up north that play for organizations that can't play. They're not allowed to play right now. Yeah. It's just the fields are shut down. They're slowly opening back up, thank God. But yeah, paintball is on such a rise.
I know.
And
it's terrible timing.
Yes. So I think once it sucks. I keep seeing every other day, like an event canceled, I'm like, Jesus.
Well, same. Even our D-Day got canceled, which I didn't think it was going to. I thought that one was going to be. I mean, that's not a speedball event, but that's a big one of your biggest Winsball events you're going to get, and it was supposed to be the last year. I mean, pushing a whole finale for a whole another year is kind of crazy thing to have to do. But
I feel that once it comes back, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be wide open. Everybody's itching to play. You see all these guys are buying and selling gear like wide open. So the money's there, the players are there. They just can't play right now. So I think once it comes back, I feel that it's going to be right back to where it was, if not maybe bigger, because the need's still there, the want's still there.
Definitely.
They want to play. They need a spot to play.
Well, paintball players are weird. We will travel to play. A lot of other sports, you don't see that. If someone
No.
can't go within 30 minutes and play something, like, oh, that's too far, I'm done. But,
Yeah.
I mean, we travel to Jacksonville to scrimmage, to Charleston, people come to us.
Oh, yeah.
We can go to Macon. So once the fields are open, the players hopefully will come floating right on back.
Yep. I mean, most, like you said, most sports, like as big as I am in the racing world, I know those dudes who, if they can't go racing within 35, 40 minutes, are like,
Yeah, done.
I'm like 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I'm fine if I can go somewhere and play in 40 minutes.
I know, right?
I travel 3-4 hours to go play. Like, Jesus.
And that's normal. That's just, that's a close one.
Oh, yeah, thank God.
You conned me into that Fayetteville trip last weekend. That was
that
was a 4-hour one. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. I'm like, but same thing. I mean, 4 hours to us is like typically short.
Yeah.
We're used to 5.5 is the average.
Well, because we used to always go to Atlanta for GF. At least for me, it was GFOA was mostly Atlanta. There are a few Macon events in Dublin and stuff, and then everything in Florida is Orlando Pass, with the exception of the one in Jacksonville at Bayside. But those are 4.5 hour trips, and then we have like 1 or 2 hours. That's it.
Yep.
But
man, I feel that I'm hoping that this COVID thing in general hasn't killed fields, because I do see businesses are closing.
Oh yeah.
And they're having issues. I'm hoping that these fields can stay alive. That's why I'm hoping that people are still coming out to the field. Like, try to get them open. Try to run rec, like something.
Lucky enough for us, our home field did stay open, from what I can tell. I mean,
yeah,
I wasn't out there the weekend, but you went out there and played some rec ball a few times, and it's the time I went out there, the 2 times, there were 15, 20 people, which it ain't a million, but it's better than not having nobody.
It's probably enough to keep the doors open. Yeah. And if I have to play rec ball until they can get all the stuff up operational, that's fine. Like, whatever. If we just need to keep the business going, if it's in Orlando or if it's in, Statesboro, wherever it is, it'll come to a point where everything will start slowing down and closing, and people stop going, and then it will die. And then it'll have to restart.
We went through a low phase, at least for me anyway, with like 2014, 2015. There was no places around here. Like, Bayside wasn't really open. I could go to another place in Jacksonville, but it was still, I'd go there and it was half a field. So it was like, what am I doing here? Like, I love the sport. I've been playing it for so long, but it's like I can only do so much, and I'm traveling to a half field 3 hours away with 3 people. And I'm like, I can't go play a tournament. Commitment. I mean, it is hashtag 2020 committed. That's what that is. But I don't know. It's just one of those things. Big turnaround. They can have a big MVPS, a big World Cup to end it off, and hopefully start 2021 out solid.
Yeah, I feel that that's how they'll probably end up. They'll definitely have a cup. They'll make that work some way. And we're still talking about 5 more months, 6 months.
Yeah.
So I think we'll have something by then. I do think they'll probably have a few MVPSs, maybe 2 somewhere.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking in August and like a September or a July.
Hopefully one in Jacksonville. That'd be great.
I hope so.
Keep the one in Jacksonville, and then do the one in Orlando, or wherever that is. But God, yeah, I mean that'd be
a crazy season. Heck of an off season.
Yeah,
we better come back and ready to fucking play for 2021 if that's the case. But,
and this is only going to show you what team's better. Because,
absolutely.
Because these guys do have fields they can play at, and if they can't play tournament, they're only just grinding.
Yeah, they're just
so they're just
whatever grinding. Layout they got. They're picking. Let's go PSP 2008 and throw that layout up, and let's just shoot at each other.
Yep, and they're just grinding and grinding and grinding, and that's all they're doing, which is great. Which is what we were trying to do the last 2 weekends on a rec ball field. Yeah. We're out there drilling and running these like special drills on this field. We're not even on a speedball field. We're doing it on like wooden pallets and barrels, because it's very close. If I'm just running drills, it's all about the same to me.
Well, we come from a bad spot where the field we were at closed down. Speedball kicked us out, and we're waiting for another field to build their speedball field. So we don't have a home at the moment. I mean, like, we do, but we don't. Like, we know where we're going.
Yeah,
we know we're going, But it's like until that speedball field's up, we're just playing when we can. I mean, like you said, rec ball, running a few drills, but people are going to get tired doing drills on wooden pallets and spools.
I mean, there's not much you can do. I mean, in the time being, I believe within the next month, I think our field will be done with turf and everything. Really looking forward to turf. It was great playing last weekend. Besides that one bunker, those two bunkers.
That's just bad luck.
But you know, I'll probably take that over dirt and grass. That's all beat to shit with sand everywhere a million times a day.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just the way.
I think we've paid our dues. We're due for some grass or some real turf or something.
Our guns have paid our dues.
Yes,
just
they
getting
have.
beat the shit out of them with dirt in them and sand in the breech and hopper and everything else.
But it's typical. Back in the day, we all shot egos, open bolt guns. And
Yeah,
we played in the sand.
Like,
now we're playing on a decent field where it's like, oh, we all got these spool valves. So it's like, well, at least my bolt won't look like shit.
Yeah. Jeez.
But, yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, there's so much going on. I'm hoping that it doesn't die because I feel that we are finally getting somewhere with our team in general. I think it was moving in the right direction.
I do too. I think last year was the beginning of that. Probably last March, I would say we had big progresses because we were two teams, but we were two separate squads. Your line had a second or a third place at the first SPO?
Yeah.
And then a couple months later, we had a first place at the SPL. And then a couple months later, y'all had a first and an MVPS. Yep. A couple months later, we had a fourth and like a third at an SPL. And then me and you took a third at MVPS. So we had
some podiums.
Last year
that was all like
year.
Teams kind of being all over the place too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like being mixed up and moved around, and some guys practicing, some guys not. I was bringing on some dudes that I haven't played with in 5 years to make a team.
Yep.
You guys are mixing in people, so it's like, you didn't know what you had half the time.
And this year we made that move to straight X ball, and the first event wasn't as good as we could play, but overall the event itself, I think, showed our weaknesses and what we needed to improve on, and we were in the process of improving all that. And then it's like we said, field shut down, COVID, waiting for a new field, still waiting for a new field. So it was just bad timing for us. Big plans, all right to a halt.
I say that with reluctancy, but praying that we can get a field up and operational within a month. Sounded like last week, maybe the last week and a half, he said that they should have the asphalt down, put under the turf.
Asphalt, that's what it's called. I kept forgetting. I was like,
well, it's going to be what this asphalt. It's going to be old used shingles that are ground up and melted, and it's poured onto the field, and then it sits for about 10 days, and since it's being black in the middle of the sun, it heats up so hot that it melts to itself. Okay. And then once it gets one solid even roll, what they'll do is we'll drag all the turf out and put the turf down, and then the turf will stitch it or tape it together, however we typically do it, and then that'll honestly be ready to go and done.
Yeah.
And we can just drag the bunkers out, throw the bunkers out, we're done. Moving on.
We'll have to see about painting the top, if we can grid it with some turf paint or something, if he'll let us.
No, he said, we're 100% good on that. So however we wanted to do it, he said he can get the paint, we can get the paint, however we wanted to do it.
I got one can I swiped from work, but because I just was curious what it did, and we could spray it on a scrap piece to see how well it sticks. Because they said it's still every 5 years you have to repaint it or something. Yeah,
well, you've seen the field at Black Ops was just 10 by 10 X's on everything. So
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it was 10 by 10 X's on everything because they basically grid it how we were gridding the grass. They grid the field once and it's done. It stays on that forever. And I'm sure maybe it gets worn out, but you just paint it over again.
Did you notice they were staking through the turf?
Because they're doing it in the dirt.
Yeah.
They don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
we're probably not going to be able to do that.
Oh, absolutely not.
We're going to probably have to do the water inside or sand inside of the PVC pipes.
That's what I'm thinking too. Sandbags or PVC pipes or.
Yeah. Which isn't an issue.
Do those bunkers we have? I don't think they have a bladder in them. I know some bunkers had a bladder.
Yeah, we don't have that. They probably have bladders in them now full of water.
Yeah, we were dumping water when we were putting him in that storage unit. When me and Jay walked away, there was water like coming out the bottom of the storage unit. I'm like, oh my god, it looks like we dragged like something alive or dead in there. I'm like,
Yeah,
leave it.
chopping up dead bodies and storing in the storage units. I went past this location in Georgia.
I know.
But yeah, I think maybe a 2-inch PVC pipe, maybe not that big, maybe a 1-inch PVC pipe full of sand, cap it off, and then one on each side of the bunker. I think is probably going to hold pretty well.
As long as there's not people running into them,
that'll probably happen.
Absolutely, we play with some special players.
Understatement. That's a huge understatement. God. I'm ready to get back at it.
Me too.
I feel that playing this last event opened the eyes up of some of the players that maybe I wish some of our guys could have came. A few more guys that didn't show. I think they were waiting for this magical MVPS to open up, and we're kind of looking like that. I'm hoping that shows because I'm ready to play again.
Oh, absolutely. Blind layout or not. Yeah.
I'm thinking that if that gets canceled, then I'm like, damn, we should have played we should have played the CPSL. Like,
do you know how the schedule for that CPSL is? Do you know when the next?
Yeah, I do. I want to say the next one's in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay.
And I heard that that's the furthest event from everybody. It's like 6.5. Yeah. After that, they're all relatively very close.
Okay.
They're like at Myrtle Beach, it's like 3.5, 4, and that's like the premier field of the place. No, that's the very last one. It's 4 events where we just were. Then it'll be the second one is in I want to say it's in Jacksonville, and there's a third one. Oh, it's in Greensboro, I think.
Okay.
PBC.
Paintball, okay.
Yeah, Paintball, which is a really nice field.
Is that South Carolina? There's a.
I think so. Yeah, so that's not far from us.
I've played at one PBC. I think I played at the one in Rock Hill. I think is the one I played at, yeah.
There's 2 of them. Yeah. And it's at one of those, and then the last one's in Myrtle Beach, which is the Black Ops best field. That's their premier field. I heard it's like 6 minutes from the beach.
Oh, that's
it's awesome. It's like right on the strip. It's crazy because I have our work has a location in Myrtle Beach, and I've been there 6 million times, and I've never seen this paintball field.
That's funny.
I've like ripped that city apart, like all over, being there for weeks on end.
Yeah.
But apparently that field is supposed to get turf within the next few months. He said that every event this season will have turf on it. Every single event will be turf. So, which is great to me. I'm like, oh, that's amazing.
Oh yeah.
And the price is super low. The paint is going to be super cheap. I've already seen they corrected how they're going to do the timing, and they're doing 12-team max now per division.
I think you have to.
Oh yeah, God yeah. So they're going to cut it down. And there was something else I seen in the post they were going to do to try to help the timeout. But other than that, you always hear people complain about the reffing, and it is what it is.
Yeah, reffing's something I can always get past too, because that's every series you're going to have someone.
I always complain, but to me, the calls were very good. They were in my opinion too lenient. There should have been more penalties, but the very first event of the year, they were giving everybody a taste. I think they wanted to let everybody play, see how it was going to be, and I'm assuming they'll take their criticism and apply it to the next event if it works the way it's supposed to, and they'll crack down on the guys playing the guys going for, and then the penalty flags will fly. But to me, for my first time ever playing there, it was ran really smooth.
Yeah.
I don't think they expected to have that many teams on one field.
No, absolutely. What was it, 16? Is that what we said?
Yeah, 16 on one day.
On one field.
X-Ball.
With the prelims were scheduled to end the last match was scheduled to start at 4.
Yeah. And it ended at
6 or 7? Yeah.
7 or 7:30, yeah. So we were leaving. We got out of there like 7:45, 8, and they were just starting the first round of quarters.
Yep.
So, God.
And when I texted you that, I was like, this can't be real. I was like, Jamie was like, check the scores. So I checked the scores, and I'm like, they just now started, Jamie. He was like, no. So I texted you, and you're like, no fucking way. And I'm like, as long as I'm reading this APPA right, they just.
Oh, it was right. Yeah, it was right.
God dang. Good thing we got knocked out.
Yeah, quote unquote knocked
out.
Everybody's like, you were like in sixth going to go in. I don't understand how you didn't make the cut. I'm like, I can tell you how we didn't make the cut. You want to know? You want to know how we didn't make the cut? Because there's about to be 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock before we got out of there. That's how we didn't make the cut.
Can text me. He was like, all right. He goes, explain this like so I can understand. I'm like, it's kind of hard to explain in a text. Like it really is. I was like, we 4-0'd them, but we didn't. Like I don't know how else to explain it. Like, I mean, you threw a flag on our own team, so I mean that's what it's like.
We tallied some points when we were running the flag in. That just happens, you know. I accidentally tallied.
He came to the pit and was like, "Is that what you wanted to do?" In my mind, I'm thinking, "Absolutely not. That's not what I wanted to happen."
Yeah.
And you're thinking, "Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, we're gonna let these guys play some more." All right, whatever.
Okay. Then we're 11 points in, or was it?
He took it really well, because like being that far behind. If I was a tournament director and the guy was like, "You mean you just wanted to have them play some like I'm 2.5 hours behind?"
But we still there was a team in between us, so they still had to play either way.
That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
that's true. But
we might have drug it on 5-10 minutes extra, but
probably 30.
Nah, couldn't have been that bad.
Well, because then they would have went straight to X-Ball where it was just 2 minutes between points instead of the split deck.
Yeah, but you gotta think. I mean, we were our points weren't more than a minute long because we had 2.5 minutes left.
There were some weird points in there that's not what you expect to happen.
Yes,
but
God,
that was fun.
I'm glad you came up and coached. We definitely needed it. That was.
Dude, I was beat Monday. It's a good thing I was working from the house.
Again, that event got pushed and postponed and pushed and postponed. So these guys have got 6-7 weeks of practice on that layout. We had 0. We didn't even play it. We didn't even know we were going to play it. I seen that event Monday. I'm like, dude, let's just go jump in it. I mean,
well, same. I mean,
worst case,
I didn't look at the layout until Courtney handed me that call out sheet that morning, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess this is what we got. And then I went and walked the field by myself, and I'm thinking, oh, this is like. It was kind of a goofy layout, in my opinion. Yeah. Because it was all playing in the pocket.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often.
No, which is very odd. And lately, they've helped out, I always say, the snake bums. They've, like, crowded that entire side of the field. They're like, oh, go to the snake. There's 700 bunkers over there. I'm like, stop. I'm like, either make it even or the snake is typically very deadly, especially if you can get in it and go all the way down to the Viper and shoot everybody in the back. I'm like, make some lanes so I can see the guy going there. Don't just make him where you can just get in it and then shoot everybody in the back and win the game at every point. Like,
I mean, how far do you think it was to get from the Alpha to that 100? That was a big gap.
Oh, that's 20 feet.
Yeah, I mean, it
was a monster.
When I walked off like out there the first time, I was like, oh my God, whoever is like shooting here, if somebody goes there, you better blow him to fucking pieces. And it was like we were seeing people that were getting through it, in my opinion, shouldn't have been getting through that lane, but very few people were actually sending somebody to that 100. It was a snake side field, I would say, for the most part.
I went to the 100 on the break twice, and I kind of thought I was gonna die. I'm probably just gonna die here. I told Jane for the game, but I'm like, I'm gonna run a gun to Alpha, and I'm like, the last second, I'm like, I'm going 100, and then I said, expect me to just die. So I just ran straight in, dove in, I got it. I'm like, wow, I didn't get shot. I'm like, I definitely thought I would be dead by now.
Well, the same with your wife there too. That one game.
Yeah. I just think that they just didn't expect people to go to because it was such a terrible run that they weren't shooting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I probably, same thing, I would have shot it once or twice, and as soon as no one went to it, I'd be like, well, I'm going to shoot, just double up snake side and try to get the kill from there or something. But Thanks for listening to The View from the Deadbox. I was just editing this podcast and realized we did not record any sort of outro. So just please bear with us. We're still learning this whole podcasting thing. We hope you enjoyed our View from the Deadbox. Please be sure to check out our other episodes. Thanks.